Instructions to both. Form your positions, starting at the same time, walk slowly towards each other, and at the same pace.
Hello!
Lil min għanna l-lum?
Mattias?
Jade?
Derin.
Martina.
Tistaw tajdu li naqra xħaj jiġri?
Naħseb li ħanidulek fuq il-ktib favorit tagħna.
Jiena naħseb xi ħaġa dwar il-Kotba żgura x'għandna ktib magħna.
Eżatt, naħseb ħajkun hemm xi diskussjoni wkoll fuq il-Kotba tagħna.
Naħseb li ħanitkellmu wkoll fuq il-mezzi ta' kif nistgħu naqraw il-kotba, eżempju jiena iktar nħobb naqrawhom diġitali għax nista' jkollha ħafna iktar kotba u ma naħlix daqshekk spazju id-dar u hekk.
Mela fil-fatt li se jiġri ħadejdulna daqsxejn għalfejn tħobbu taqraw, xi tħobbu taqraw u ser nitkellmu wkoll l-importanza tal-qari. Mela, min nixtieq jibda jitkellem dwar il-ktieb favorit tiegħu.
Mela, jiena llum ġibt miegħi ktieb ta' Roald Dahl jismu The Witches. Dan il-ktieb bdejna naqraw meta konna l-iskola sena l-oħra bħala letteratura u kien oġobni ħafna x'kien fih tipo ta' misteru. Kien fuq tifel li kien jgħix ma' nanna tiegħu, bażikament, u n-nanna tiegħu kienet taf dil-witch is-Sahara li darba minnhom dat tifel kien kellu jisu tree house id-dar ta' nanna u kien qiegħed fiha jilab u deret lu jisu dis-Sahara jisa bdittajatlu. U flok qabat jajat u jwerża, bażikament stennija titlaq u mbagħad mar fejn nanna jgħidilha. Eventwalment dan mar ġo tipo ta' lukanda u kien hemm tipo ta' ċerimonja ta' sħaħar kien ma' nanna tiegħu u eventwalment skoprew li għax huma ma kinux jafu li kien hemm ġi ċerimonja ta' sħaħar. Marru u sabu tipo ta' kamra li ħadd ma kienet juża, dan it-tifel inqabad hemm ġew u beda jisma' x'ħajamlu daw is-sħaħar li t-tfal kollha ħajġibuhom ġrieden. Mela dan il-ktieb huwa bl-Ingliż imma. A note about witches. In fairy tales, witches always wear silly black hats and black cloaks and they ride on broomsticks. But this is not a fairy tale. This is about real witches. The most important thing you should know about real witches is this. Listen very carefully. Never forget what is coming next. Real witches dress in ordinary clothes and look very much like ordinary women. They live in ordinary houses and they work in ordinary jobs. This is why they are so hard to catch. A real witch hates children with a red, hot, sizzling hatred that is more sizzling and red hot than any hatred you could possibly imagine. A real witch spend all her time plotting to get rid of children in her particular territory. Her passion is to do away with them, one by one. It is all she thinks about all day long, even if she is working as a cashier in a supermarket, or typing letters for a businessman, or driving around in a fancy car. And she could be doing any of these things. Her mind will always be plotting and scheming and churning and burning and whizzing and fizzing with murderous, bloodthirsty thoughts.
Mela jien ħanaqralkom biċċa mill-ħarset tal-ktieb il-ġimgħa s-Sibt u l-Ħadd tal-ġimgħa flaxija. Amanda telqitu kienu ilhom xarinu biċċa flimkien. Minn dakinhar laqatlu daqshekk. Qiegħed jimmarka ġranet waħda fuq il-kalendarju sakemm isib tfajla oħra. Bażikament dan il-ktieb u fuq ġuvni li sfortunatament titilqu t-tfajla tiegħu u issa kull jum, kull x'inhu u kull meta jqum u tibda ġurnata ġdida jmur jimmarka fuq il-kalendarju. Dan ikun fuq korsa 3 ijiem. Fl-ewwel ġurnata imorru id-disko li jinsab San Ġiljan mal-ħbib tiegħu u sfortunatament tfajla minnhom tasal tard, l-oħra tweġġa u jispiċċaw għand raġel anzjan u miskin id-dar tiegħu jisa sptarti ġax kull imkien kejos ikun hemm. S'issa semmek rajt għaliex dan qegħdin naqraw l-iskola tajuna bħala proġett isser.
Mela, dan il-ktieb jismu Daughter of the Flames by Zoe Marriott. Issa, huwa fuq dit tifla, fuq dit tfajla li għandha bej 17 sena li tkun qed tixtieq issir dil-warrior priestess. Xogħla ħajkun tipproteġi dan il-Holy Temple. Però mbagħad wara ikun isir attakk u jiġu l-memorji tagħha mkara tifla żgħira u tkun taf li hija din il-prinċipessa li she needs to rule. U tiskopri li dan il-persuna li qed fuq it-tron issa huwa tijuha. U tijuha kien qatel il-familja kollha tagħha f'dan nar li għamel fil-palazz u biss salvat. So naqra l-avventura tagħha fej issib tintaqa' ma' nies ġodda, tispiċċa tiżżewweġ il-wieħed raġel u mbagħad wara n-nies tagħha jirribellaw hemmhekk u joqtlu ħafna nies. U fl-aħħar jispiċċa billi jitieħu t-tron tagħha, tiżżewweġ u mbagħad wara dawk it-tfal li jkun dan raġel ikun qabad bħala blackmail ikunu ħarbuhom kollha u hekk tispiċċa happy ending. Issa, jien ħanaqra l-piċċa xar wara l-attakk, so il-lejl qabel it-tieġ. Sorin kept his promise. Before a month has passed, he was back on his feet again. He did not move with his previous mobility back yet, and he might always need the cane to help his balance, especially when he was tired. But he would be able to walk to our second wedding. Since the poisoning, we had slept in the same room, in the same bed. Soren was ill and I was so very tired that our sleep had been as shacet as the brother of and sister. But I could not bear the thought that he might have died without my ever knowing how it felt to lie by his side. It would take a great deal to prise me away from his bed now, I knew. He left at midnight the night before the ceremony. There was a custom that the bride and groom must not see each other on the day of their marriage until the wedding itself. It's in case it brought bad luck. I pointed out that most Syndrome brides weren't already married to their grooms, but I had made rather enduring discovery that Soren was superstitious. He even refused to touch cobwebs in case they might bring him bad luck. And so I wasn't surprised when he insisted we observe the old tradition. He dressed so slowly and gingerly in the dark. I heard his fingers fumbling with the buttons, but I did not offer to help. He didn't like that. When he finished, he leaned carefully over to press a kiss on my forehead. Go back to sleep, he said, pronouncing the words precisely as he always did. I'll see you in a few hours. And then he slipped out of the room.
Mela, il-ktib tiegħi huwa jismu Amina ta' Antoinette Borg. Dan il-ktib huwa fuq din it-tifla li tgħix ma' storjiet ta' x'omma u missiera kienu mietu. U din kienet taf ħafna l-matematika. U irnexxiela tidħol dan il-kamp tal-matematika. U din ovvjament marret. U allura u kien hemm dan il-challenge tajba nsejt kienet. Imma din il-challenge kienet jiena provajt nifhimha imma naqra komplikata. Bil-lejl kienet toħroġ għax ma tkunx tista' daqshekk tieħu nnifs. Allura toħroġ. U darba kienet marret biex toħroġ u dawret naqra ma' din id-dar, di ma kienetx waħda, kienet ma' l-oħrajn. U din it-tifla marret u sabet din il-kamra. U f'din il-kamra saret taf li dan il-challenge kien mhux challenge li vvintaw minn moħħhom. Dan il-challenge kien sabaq xi ħaġa biex isiru jafu dawn il-nies fejn hu dan it-teżor, għax fejn kien moħbi dan it-teżor ma kienux jafu. Kien hemm l-Ingliżi u l-Maltin. MMC1 Scholarship Challenge. A wealthy man buried a treasure in a place where there is an old palace, a well and a pine tree. He left the following instructions to his two children, A and B, so they can find the treasure. A and B are to meet near the pine tree. Instructions to A. From the pine tree, walk in a straight line to the main door of the palace. Count your steps while doing so. When you arrive, turn 90 degrees to the left and then walk forward the same number of steps. Stop. Instructions to B. From the pine tree, walk in a straight line, counting your steps to the well. When you reach it, turn 90 degrees to the right and take the same number of steps forward. Stop. Instructions to both. From your positions, starting at the same time, walk slowly towards each other and at the same pace. The treasure is buried at the spot where you meet. Question. After their father dies, A and B go to look for the treasure. They find the palace and the well, but Alice, there is no sign of the pine tree. Is there any way they can still find the location of the treasure? Dan il-ktib joġobni għax jiena nħobb ħafna l-matematika, allura naqra relatable.
Naħseb importanti li taqra, one jisu għall-iskola ikollok jisek mhux dizzjonarju tajjeb, ma jisek tkun titkellem sew mhux daqqa tħawad bl-Ingliż u daqqa bil-Malti. Huwa importanti wkoll għalina biex ma ninsewx kif naqraw. Naħseb dak l-iktar importanti għalija fil-qari.
Xin naqraw jisna nidħlu fl-istorja, jissa like fantazija ġdida. So, u koll like ħafna nisti potejnom jikkonċentraw speċi ta' anka u koll like jgħinu ħafna għall-essays tal-iskola, xin taqra aktar ħajkollok ideja ġodda.
Eżempju, kif qalet Derin, meta taqra l-immaġinazzjoni kollha f'idejk, ġifri jekk jiena naqra dan il-ktieb, jista' jkoll l-immaġinazzjoni ħafna differenti minn Derin jekk taqra l-istess ktieb li qrajt jien. Importanti wkoll ħalli ma ninsewx kif nagħmlu l-istrattura ta' sentenza kemm bil-Malti u kemm bl-Ingliż.
Grazzi ħafna tal-li samtu dawn il-kotba magħna.
Bye!